You and your companions have accidentally unleashed a magical curse which is wreaking havoc in the library. It's opening all the books, bringing to life literary terrors and book characters, and even moving the shelves around. You'd better fix this before the library is overrun with terrible things. Welcome to my Kickstarter preview of Library Labyrinth. Hey everyone, there's Attackers. Today I'm bringing you my preview of the cooperative dungeon crawler Library Labyrinth. A huge thanks to Dissent Games for providing me with a preview copy ahead of the launch of the Kickstarter project. Be mindful of the fact that this is a prototype and everything you see and hear in this very video can still change. That includes gameplay, rules and components. Before I give you my opinion of the game, let me first tell you how to set up and play it. Your common objective in Library Labyrinth is to work together to defeat the curse before time runs out or the library is overrun. You will each gather a team of famous fictional and historical book characters who will use their skills to help you capture the escaped literary terrors and return them to the right shelf before it's too late. For the setup, first find the starting tile with the compass symbol in the center. Place it face up in the center of the table with north pointing, north. Then shuffle together 24 additional floor tiles and place them around the starting tile in a 5x5 grid. You align them in a plus rather than an X rotation. For your first game you should use 6 floor tiles with the shelf icon, 3 floor tiles featuring the reward icon, 12 floor tiles with the terror icon, and 3 blank floor tiles. By adding or removing terror tiles you can make the game harder or easier. Each player chooses a player token and places it on the starting tile. Also, all players receive a player aid card that shows you the turn order on one side and the possible actions during your turn on the other side. Then separate the book character cards into face down stacks according to their categories, which are also indicated by different colors. Shuffle each stack separately and place them all to one side of the library, the floor tiles you arranged in a grid. Also shuffle the 6 small square page tiles as well as the terror tiles and place both stacks face down besides the library. Shuffle the disturbance cards as well as the reward cards and place both decks face down besides the library as well. Then place the curse token in one of the outer junctions between the floor tiles just like this. Or like this. Or like this. Well, you get the picture. Each player now takes 3 face down book character cards and 1 face down reward card to form their starting hand. You can take any book characters you want, but it is a good idea to have a good mix of categories between all players. When everyone has drawn all mentioned cards, you all reveal your hands and put the cards in front of you. Did I mention that this is a cooperative game? Well, it is a cooperative game. Your setup should now look like this. The player who most recently read some of a book goes first. Yes, audiobooks and ebooks also count. If neither of you has ever read a book, you can also determine the starting player by reading aloud the same rule book of a game at the same time. Whoever finishes reading the rulebook out aloud first starts the game. So how do you play the game? Players take turns which consist of 3 phases each. The action phase, the disturbance phase, and the curse phase. Let me go over each of these in detail. In the action phase you can carry out up to 3 of your possible actions. Either you can move in one of 3 ways. You can use a basic move action by moving your player token as far as you choose to along an unblocked and lit path. Your path is blocked by dark floor tiles, bookcases along the edge of a floor tile, terror tiles, or shelf tiles. Instead, you can also move and capture by moving your player token as far as you choose to along an unblocked and lit path and ending your movement on a terror tile so you can capture it. Alternatively, you can move and reshelve by doing the same movement but landing on a shelf tile so you can reshelve a terror. I will speak about capturing and reshelving terrors later on. But there are other actions you can do besides moving. You can also flip an adjacent dark floor tile to its lit side. If a terror or shelf tile is revealed, activate it by placing the respective token on it. Also, you may rotate your own or an adjacent lit floor tile by 90 degrees in either direction. Another action you can take is taking a book from any book character category stack at any time. It doesn't matter where your player token is located to take that action. Last but not least, you can trade 1 card with the player on your tile. You can donate a card, receive 1, or swap 2 cards with another. This includes character as well as reward cards. Here is one of the coolest mechanisms of the game. If you don't want to use all your 3 actions, you can pass one of them on to the next player. That player then can use 4 instead of 3 actions. This way you can distribute your actions better and play the game more efficiently. This is a great idea that I haven't seen like that before. Really nice. After the action phase, there's the disturbance phase. Here you draw a card from the disturbance deck and carry out the disturbance as described on the card. Then you discard the card. Whenever there are no more disturbance cards to draw, the game ends right there and now. When carrying out a disturbance, you first look at the position of the curse token and then manipulate the tile highlighted in red in relation to the pawn. In this example, you would find your pawn and manipulate this tile here. Either you would flip the tile to the lit side and activate it, rotate it by 90 degrees clockwise, add a new terror token, or flip the tile to its dark side. Last but not least, there's the curse phase. Here you move the curse token clockwise to the next junction. Then it's the next player's turn. That's all for the actions. Now let's look at how you capture or reshelve terrors, since that is the goal of the game. To capture a terror, you must have book characters in your hand who possess the skills necessary to capture it. You need to be able to match the symbols on your character cards with the symbols on the terror token to capture it. You can also use collected items to give you the edge here. For example, to capture the basilisk, you need wisdom, courage and athletics. You can use Eniduana's wisdom skill here and Elizabeth Carrot Anderson's resilience skill for that. The missing yellow star you can use the sword from the lake for. Once captured, you collect all characters and items you used and place them all in one card slot in your hand together with the terror token you captured. All of these will block one of your slots in your hand. Also, these characters and items are now busy containing the terror and can't be used again. You can also reshelve a captured terror in your hand. To do so, you need to move to a shelf tile that shows one of the symbols also depicted on the terror tile. After doing so, place the shelf tile and the respective terror tile together beside the corresponding book category stack to display that this shelf is now complete. All used item cards are placed in the rewards discard pile and all book characters in discard piles as well. Whenever you reshelve a terror, you win a reward. You may take the top card from the reward deck into your hand, placing it in front of you. You win the game as a group or by yourself if you're playing solo once you've completed all 6 shelf categories. Then you defeat the curse, all the book characters and terrors magically return to their books. You can also lose the game though. That happens when either the disturbance deck runs out of cards or if there are ever more than 5 terrors visible on the grid of floor tiles. Then the library is overrun and the curse wins. There are a few more things to note. You may only have a maximum of 6 cards in your hand at all times. But you may discard cards from your hand for free at any time, even when it's not your turn. Also, a captured terror and all cards used for that take up only 1 card slot in your hand. If a book category stack or the reward deck run out, you just shuffle the respective discard pile to form the new book or reward deck. By the way, the colors of these bookshelves only correlate to the type of tile here. They have no gameplay purpose whatsoever. When you step on this reward tile, you draw a reward card. You can step on the same reward tile multiple times during the game to collect different reward cards. Taking a reward card happens automatically and does not cost an action. And that is how Library Labyrinth is played. But what do I think about the game? First of all, I really like the theme. In essence, this is a dungeon crawler type of game, but the topic of it taking place in a library and books as well as its characters and monsters being the central theme is just wonderful. This theme just adds so much to the game and strongly elevates it. I love a good theme and this game nails that. Also, the idea of using only female protagonists in the game is amazing. I like how they are being represented. Also, it is really fun drawing a character I don't know much about yet and doing a bit of research on the side. Yes, at some point I will know everyone, but until then I'll have quite a few discoveries to make. That's great. There are quite a few mechanisms I thoroughly enjoy. First of all, although the tiles stay at their designated place, the library really does feel like a dynamic labyrinth. Being able to rotate the tiles does so much for the game. You will have to plan accordingly. You will have to use extra actions to rotate tiles to get from point A to point B. But then you will also have to get back. How will you do that while at the same time minimizing your moves? Don't forget, you are on a time limit after all. Also, handing over an action to the next player is an amazing design concept. This is such a simple concept, but it's really effective. Also, I can't remember having seen that in any other game thus far. What a brilliant concept. The quality of the components is totally fine. The tiles are really thick and sturdy, which I like. The tiles are a bit dark for my taste, but that will be changed with the production copy. One thing I didn't like too much was the total randomness of the starting configuration. It is possible to end up in such a situation. Since terrors and shelf tiles block your movement, you can do nothing but to stand there and start drawing cards. That's it. And then you need to hope that you will at some point have the required symbols necessary. But some of the terrors are quite strong. This slows down the gameplay from the very start and limits your tactical decisions. I hope that this will be changed with the production copy. If not, I suggest the following house rule. Shuffle one regular tile into the top 4 tiles and then lay them all out around the starting tile. Sure, you could still be blocked, but at least you can move a little bit further and the chance of you being blocked is definitely lower. Also, I did enjoy the solo mode that was included in the prototype copy. It is not finished yet, but I'm sure after a few tweaks here and there, this could be a very solid solo mode for all solo enthusiasts out there. All in all, I really enjoyed the game. The standard dungeon crawler formula is enhanced by the topic, the inclusion of only female protagonists, and a few mechanisms that really benefit the game, such as handing over actions to the next player or being able to manipulate the layout of the tiles. If you enjoy dungeon crawlers, cooperative games, or games with an interesting theme and cool mechanisms, I highly suggest you keep an eye out for this campaign, which will launch next week. As usual, I'll put all links into the description of this video so you can take a look at the project yourself. If you're still watching, thank you very much for doing so, I really appreciate that. Why don't you check out the other videos on my channel? I'm sure you'll find another video you can enjoy. Alright, that's all from my side. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the very next video. Take care everyone, and cheers.